No one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and it's
Shutting down
weak.
the government is not fighting for the American people. It costs the economy billions of dollars.
This man
people
has
don't get their
destroyed
benefits.
It seems like there was more than the typical yelling battle as commotion broke out on The View. Things grew nasty behind the scenes, and the producers were frantically trying to wrap up the show early, like they were on a reality television reunion. The guests were yelling at one another, back and forth turmoil and constant disruptions. It was crazy, and let's face it, who is watching this circus anymore?
Anyway, well, you're giving them a shutdown, which legally allows them to do exactly what they're doing right now.
and they're
In
gonna
a
do it
shutdown,
anyway.
veterans would be harmed. They wouldn't get their VA
They're already
benefits.
being harmed.
It
No
would-
one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and
Shutting
it's
down the
weak.
government is not fighting for the American
a
people.
minute.
It costs the
Give it a
economy
minute.
billions of dollars.
This man
people
has
don't get their
destroyed so
benefits.
much in 1 month.
To see how awful it goes, I feel like I'm the only one who is still watching. The Democratic Party, on the other hand, is in decline. People are going crazy over Trump, furious about Elon Musk, and furious about Chuck Schumer. It seems like they go crazy whenever the man breathes. You would think that they would concentrate on strategy, but instead, they are having meltdown after meltdown, and according to reports, ABC producers were rushing behind the scenes to turn off the cameras before things got any worse, like going into full-on damage control mode. Sincerely, if they must perform it each week, perhaps it's time to scrap the entire thing and remove the Band-Aid, but wait, hold on. Veterans losing everything is brought up by someone. How did we get from celebrity drama to that in a single sentence? They are complaining about government waste while doing nothing to address it. Words only, nothing happened. Where are the receipts if they are truly concerned? What's the plan? Everything about it seems like a huge diversion. There is mayhem on the screen. There is anarchy in the nation. Why is it that these folks can lie directly to our faces and it's okay? Zero with no receipts, no information, no justifications, nothing. What specific differences between USAID and those other organizations did they discover? Not a word is being spoken. We're all expected to accept it and go on, it seems.
I can almost cry today for these people, these vets who are losing everything. Why don't the Democrats go out there and march and stop with each other? I'm sick of it.
Well, I don't know, Joy, that they're fighting with each other. They're not
They are.
fighting
They
a
are.
unified fight.
No,
That
no,
is
no.
the problem.
The fact that
What
Nancy is now out there criticizing Schumer, stop
You
it
know
already.
why she's
It's enough.
criticizing him? Because he should have been fighting for that veteran. He should have been fighting for the people of America that are feeling the way that they are feeling. The Americans that I've spoken to, people that approach me almost every single day, say they don't feel like the party is fighting for them. This is not about
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go out and fight
but
for
it's
them.
not about, well, he had the opportunity to fight for them. Chuck Schumer caved to the GOP and got nothing.
All right,
This was
let's not keep
actually,
the body
this was
silent.
not actually
The
the
body is
choice.
dead.
But Joy, the choice was not between a no vote on the partisan GOP spending bill and a possible shutdown. It was a choice between a no vote and forcing Republicans to explain why they walked away from that possibility of a bipartisan agreement.
That doesn't sit well, no. The actual jaw-dropper, too? As if it were monopoly money, the federal government is squandering billions of taxpayer funds. As in, how is this still taking place? It's hard for people out here to buy groceries and fill up their tanks. Additionally, your hard-earned money is disappearing into a void of oversight problems in the meantime. It's outright illegal, not just wasteful. And now, they're fighting over a possible government shutdown once more, as if it were a game to play with. The best part, too? Democrats have been claiming to be avoiding that very thing. However, you know what? After turning around, Chuck Schumer struck agreements with Trump. The same man they have been disparaging for years, yes. And now Sunny Hostin is going crazy on the air, yelling that the Democrats were duped and gave in. But to be honest, Sunny has no idea what she's saying. You can sense the tension at the table, which is like a civil war playing out in real time, as her own co-hosts appear to be preparing to ignore her. They are all giving Sunny the side eye as if she had just cursed out their grandmother or something. It's anarchy, plain and simple, but hold on, things are changing outside of their echo chamber. People are genuinely beginning to grin again. Petrol prices are finally declining, and eggs are no longer too expensive to buy with a full paycheck. But they're still wailing about the end of the world over at The View. The majority of the nation, they believe, is still stuck in its end of the world narrative. A burst of news. People are tired of it. What's the truth? The polls have it. The waste must end, according to most Americans. They're tired of seeing the government waste money without taking responsibility. Some even want the taxpayers who earned the money to receive it back. Thus, while the table continues to spin in circles, the rest of the nation is beginning to awaken.
Didn't concede. It would have been worse. And that's what was surprising about Pelosi saying that, because she knows from her experience as Speaker of the House that the negotiator told Chuck Schumer he did not have the votes. He could not get the votes. He shut it down. And one thing that changed my mind is yesterday I called him on the carpet and said, how are you leadership when you only get 9 Democrats to follow you? But then someone shared something that made me change a little of my perspective. They had exactly the number they needed to not shut down. So he gave cover to a ton of Democrats that probably in common sense terms knew their voters would backlash if they shut the government down. And honestly, in
coverage to the GOP.
This show is completely out of control. It's not just divided at this point, it's an absolute train crash. We are discussing a complete meltdown. There's a nearly 5-minute moment in which the entire viewcast is screaming, pointing fingers, and constantly arguing over whether or not the Democrats are collapsing. It sounds like a high school cafeteria brawl. As a spoiler, they are, and that mess is being made very evident by this episode. Shut it all down, shut down the government. One host is stating quite literally, the others are essentially yelling back, but that will just make ordinary people feel worse. For example, can they hear themselves? No longer is it even a debate. It is merely noise. No answers, no facts, just egos fighting on daytime television. Already, it appears like the Democratic Party is in trouble. But this? It is becoming worse because of this. By accident, this show is revealing everything they would prefer not to acknowledge. Do these hosts even comprehend what's happening anymore? Let's face it, they seem to be winging it and taking Twitter threads as news. To be honest, then it finally hits you. Many of these television programs are wholly unrelated to the lives of actual Americans, particularly those supported by those massive corporations that are sponsored by billionaires. Although the hosts aren't billionaires themselves, they are undoubtedly socializing with them at upscale galas. Millionaire panelists on these shows are out there trying to make ends meet, while ordinary people are out there trying to keep the lights on. They speak as though they understand, but they are completely unaware of the situation. The public no longer trusts them because of this. The people are no longer there. We're gone. And for good reason. Truly, these individuals have no idea what the problems of actual Americans are. They are completely oblivious to the struggles going on outside of their studio bubble, sitting up there that stage like royalty. And to be honest, one of the most outrageous episodes was when Chuck Schumer, yes, that Chuck Schumer, said something so outrageous that not even the women on the stage could use it to his advantage. Not to mention that Schumer is no longer the target of such an attack by Democrats. At this point, his own side is treating him like Trump. As soon as he made a mistake, they quickly pulled away. But this was a whole calamity, not just a slip. During his live broadcast, Schumer openly ridiculed Americans who wish to retain more of their own wealth. Similar to what? Your message is now that, oh, you're avaricious if you don't want your paycheck taken by the government. That's how disconnected they are. Even that arrogant line struck us, I was the only one who earned my money. Yes, Chuck, we did as well. In actuality, it is what capitalism is, not the crony-style, backroom deal fake version that your friends keep showing up. People who work hard, hustle, and start from scratch are subsequently hit with taxes that pay for unnecessary wars, bloated government spending, and pointless abroad endeavors. We're sick of it. No, the entire incident was shown by ABC as if it were routine, as if it weren't a serious red signal. But trust, Americans noticed and are starting to wake up, which is precisely why Democrats are in a panic behind the scenes. There's no turning back now. Now that the mask has come off, the truth is clearly seen to all.